Okay, so quick confession here. When I was younger, I never really paid a lot much attention to comic books, to be honest. This is mostly because they really didn't fulfill my needs story-wise. For me, I like a story with a beginning and an ending with all sorts of delicious continuity, and I also don't like only getting little pieces of a story at a time. I'd rather just get the whole thing in one go and dedicate a big chunk of time to it. Like even with TV shows, I wait till the entire season's done before I just watch an entire season. I don't, it's just the way I don't know, it's the way I am. So anyway, it also means that I never really paid a great deal of attention to the character of Superman. And honestly, that was partly due to this rather nebulous sort of power he has of invulnerability, which seems to change its meaning way too often. Now, back in the day before third ed D&D came out and pretty much changed the universe, I used to play an RPG by Palladium Books called Heroes Unlimited from time to time. And for a while, it was really all I had to go on for kind of number crunchy rules and statistics for an invulnerability power. And it's essentially it did what it said it did. It just plain old made your character completely immune to damage entirely, which personally, I've played Fallout and Skyrim and all that, and although they do have a cheat that lets you run around in God mode, it's not really my preferred way to play a game. And for me, that's kind of what Invulnerability was like. It was like, hitting the squiggle button in TGM and just running through things. Like, who cares? It's boring. There's no risk. There's no danger. There's no true excitement. And yes, I know there's, you can still strangle the person, you can poison them, they can be diseased, irradiated, outright exposure to the cold vacuum of space. Although, if you're Superman, you're kind of immune to all these things, but yeah, not to mention, I noticed in D&D that these days they divide damage into physical energy types, which means that if you were to translate Palladium's invulnerability power into D&D, it kind of makes me think that maybe it'll be like, oh sure, you have unlimited damage reduction, but pretty much any spell is gonna mess you over except for magic missile because it's kinetic or whatever. But anyway, yeah, in invulnerability, the idea of complete invulnerability just really bothers me. But anyway, but more recently, I started watching the handful of superhero type cartoons that are out there, mostly on Netflix and such, and I noticed that they appear to be taking a bit of a page from D&D. Now, in D&D, there's an ability called damage reduction, which I mentioned, and even so, I mean, even if you're Cthulhu and normal weapons bounce off you like rain off a windscreen, it's not that you're truly, totally invulnerable. It's just that you're ignoring a ridiculous amount of damage, or well, I mean, not sometimes not so much ridiculous, not as just a little bit, but even a little bit can help. But I mean, it's still possible to hurt you, and I like that. Now, I've noticed that the world laws governing Superman as of late, in the cartoons I've been watching, seem to be doing a bit of the same. I mean, yes, bullets are still bouncing off of him, and swords are breaking over his head and whatnot, but really big attacks from really big weapons and just really super obscenely strong individuals do seem able to, injure him to a degree, and I think that's great. I really like that. Now, not that I want to see him die or anything. I mean, I'm not, anti-Superman or anything. It's just that I don't like the idea of really any superhero being completely unstoppable no matter what. I mean, that just drives me nuts. And yeah, I know he's always had the kryptonite thing, and I get that. And more recently, he's become solar powered, which I really like because honestly, again, unstoppable, completely flawless heroes just don't do a thing for me. And it's sort of interesting. I mean, I guess there could be some argument made for maybe he's part plant or something, but anyway. And the fact that Superman could actually bite off more than he can chew actually causes me to gain, actual respect for this character now, who formerly I kind of rolled my eyes at a lot and couldn't really be bothered to really truly get to know. He was always just the big blue indestructible Boy Scout. I mean, that's boring to me, but now, I don't know what. I've been watching the Justice League cartoons um and Batman Beyond, which had a crossover episode, which crossed over into the Superman animated series from whenever the heck it was. And actually, that was pretty cool too, because he was actually slightly older. It showed that he was aging. That's interesting to me. And yeah, maybe I guess just the fact that he's not completely indestructible just makes him more human, maybe more real as a character. I don't know. And yeah, for the record, the crossover was cool because I did actually like the psychic starfish thing. It kind of made me think of Pokemon, so I'm crazy that way. I don't know. And also ever since I've been a kid, I've loved crossover stories between shows I like, and so yeah, there's that. So anyway, just want to say keep up the good work, all you people out there who are writing characters and even superheroes to be more believable and more human. I think that's awesome. Because honestly, you're improving the quality of what's out there, and that's great. And if there's one thing that really makes me grind my teeth, it's bad writing and craptastic characterization. Like, yeah, don't even get me started on that. Anyway, maybe that'll be another video. Bye for now.